charge her for perjury. The case is dismissed for lack of probable cause. On the record in the matter of the state of Michigan versus Adrian Johnson.
Good morning, Your Honor. Assistant Prosecuting Attorney Adam Pfeiffer on behalf of the people.
Good morning, Your Honor. Jacob Starks, the fourth Assistant Public Defender here on behalf of Mr. Johnson. Mr. Johnson, please stand up. Thank you. Mr. Johnson is standing to my right.
How are you, Mr. Johnson? Okay. Today was the date again scheduled for an exam. If we were ready to proceed, any preliminary matters?
As a nuts and bolts matter, the people have made it pretty clear in previous hearings we are worried about possible perjury concerns with Ms. Crawford. My plan is to call her, and I will be asking very specific questions I do not believe will violate my ethical obligations not to sworn perjury.
Okay.
Where are you currently employed?
City of Lansing Police Department.
And what is your role there?
A detective.
Now, were you assigned to work on a case involving Adrian Johnson?
Yes.
What work did you do on that?
Communication via the Ingham County jail system.
And what kind of communications did you find?
I located several phone calls to a phone number that associated to the victim in the report, the associated same phone number in the report from inmate Adrian Johnson's call.
And apart from phone calls, did you discover any other contacts that Mr. Johnson had with that victim?
A video call. And Exhibit 8 is a screenshot I took of a video call that showed Mr. Johnson's face on one side and Ms. Crawford's face on the other.
Did you listen to those calls?
Yes.
And did they discuss court case?
Yes.
Have you ever previously spoken to Adrian Johnson?
No.
Do you recognize his voice?
No.
And in terms of Ms. Crawford, did she specifically identify herself as Ms. Crawford in the call itself?
No.
Thank you, Your Honor. Nothing further.
Do you see the man from that video visit here today?
I do.
Could you please point out where he's sitting?
We jumped through here.
If record of questions identified the defendant as the man she observed in that video visit. He violated the court's orders. It's pretty clear here. I'd ask you find him guilty of violating the no contact order report.
Mr. Starks.
Thank you, Your Honor. The burden of proof for these types of proceedings is proof beyond reasonable doubt. Respectfully, people have not met their burden of request on behalf of Mr. Johnson with the alleged 53 violation case. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, again, we had the testimony of one detective who was assigned. It should first be noted that the prosecutor advised the court that he had pulled the cross for the defendant, had heard calls in violation of the no contact order, but I don't know what kind of mental capacity you would have to be in to get told that you can't have contact directly or indirectly with someone. And then while you're in jail, where they remind you before you do it that this is recorded, you not only make a recorded phone call, but you do it on a video. So your images are captured. There's absolutely zero question about identification. Court is satisfied beyond a reasonable doubt that Mr. Johnson violated the court's order on multiple occasions. And so that will be sustained. We'll address his sentencing at the conclusion of the conclusion of the preliminary examination. Raise your right hand. Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you're going to give is the truth and the whole truth under penalty of perjury? Yes. You have a seat. I've never talked to him at the jail.
Do you see your number in that list of numbers called for being set?
Yeah, and it says that what didn't connect.
Is there more than once?
It said it didn't connect, so I never saw a call from her.
The second from the bottom. Second one from the bottom. Is that your phone number?
Yeah, it says didn't connect.
And do you see that there where it says 14 minutes and 13 seconds long?
Yeah, where is this from though? The Ingham County Jail or the City County Jail?
Ma'am, has he called you from jail while this case has been going on?
From the Ingham County Jail, no.
Has he called you from the City County Jail?
Yes, he did call me once from the City Jail.
Ma'am, this has already been admitted as a record of the calls he made from the Ingham County Jail, showing that he has called you many times and has spoken with you For the first one was 14 minutes and 13 seconds on December 21st. Then on December 22nd, he spoke to you for 7 minutes, 39 seconds. You're still saying you haven't spoken to him from jail.
That was the city jail. I had to go because I just getting approximately in my jail.
Hello. I'm Officer Havard. Can you tell me what happened today? Or
My ex-husband. I've had PPO on him since April, but he won't leave. Then I've been trying to get the courage to go to the police, but I'm always scared that he's gonna run right out. And like, I just keep telling him more and more and more, like that I want him to leave. Like, please just let me leave. And he was like, no. And I've been recording him like when he chokes me, and then I say, why do you choke me? And he'll say, because you make me mad. And then I asked him again if he would leave today, and he pushed me in the bed and he put the gun on his cheek. And he pulled the trigger and it jammed. And then he told me that I have to take the gun to this place and get a different gun because that one doesn't work. And so he brought the gun in here and set it there. And then we walked outside. And I'm so scared he's gonna get out. This is why I haven't been fun. I'm just scared. I don't know what to do.
okay, it's okay.
I'm so scared.
So you have reportings of them?
If you look up his record from Kalamazoo, he has lots of domestic violence calls for me. And choking and stuff like that for me. I've been trying to get away from him. I divorced him and then I got remarried and he was gone for a year, but he was on drugs. And then when he got clean again, then he came back for me and he said that he said he's going to kill my husband that he made me divorce. He put a gun to my head to make me divorce him. And then I have some recordings. Adrian's not innocent. He has abused me, but he didn't try to kill me that day. He's never used a gun on me. Ramil is the one that used the guns on. Ramil is the one that carries the gun. It's not him. Not him. I'm sorry if I lied. I'm sorry. If you think I lied, it was just because I was so much trauma happened to me that day. I got the calls from the guys again, and then his trial was coming up, and I already have the preliminary trial and for him, and he just cut me. Even when I had a video call with him, he said, "Why isn't he in jail? Why isn't he in jail? Why am I in jail? Why isn't he in jail?" Like, that's all. He just wouldn't get these guys to stop calling. I even tried to put money on his foot and everything and tried to get him to stop, and he wouldn't stop. And he knows it. And Adrian knows that they were doing this stuff to me. He knows it. You know, when you threaten my son, it's different. When you threaten my child, it's different. Ramil was gonna kill me if I did all this stuff. I ran away to Myrtle Beach to get away from Ramil. I played Adrian so that it looked like it was set up, but I told him it's not gonna work because I already told Detective McAfee that I already asked him if he wanted me to record Ramil admitting to the murder, and he said yes. So I worked with the police to help him get Ramil away because he was going to run. The police, he believes that the only
Miss
thing
Crawford.
is just go around
Miss
my
Crawford.
apartment. I'm sorry.
On February 9th, 2026, isn't it true you said, and I quote in that email, "I don't want to bother you guys again. I just really need protection. My doctors ask me every session, do I want to kill myself? And I always say no. They know Adrian was abusing me and trying to kill me. Adrian was upset. I moved on after I got the courage to divorce him in 2023. He went crazy. He showed up at my husband's house to kill him too. He has a nice side, but when it comes to me, he has control issues. I never wanted to take him from the kids. I just know that when he went in that gun show, if they fixed the gun, it most likely wouldn't malfunction again. I wanted to call the police so many times to help me, but whenever I did in Kalamazoo, I would get choked worse when he would get out of jail the next day. I couldn't even bring myself to serve him the PPO. When you are yelled at and choked all the time, it takes away your strength. Fear overcomes you. I think it's a good idea to keep the no contact order to other people. He's an ex-gang member and has people that will hurt me. He even had guys calling me, telling me not to testify on a case and change the narrative. It was Adrian all along. I recognized his friend's voice. If he bonds out, I am cooked. I know the judge could tell I was being threatened. That is why she didn't want to accept that affidavit. I just don't know how to not be scared of him. I've had so many emergency room panic attacks with blood pressure in the 200s. I just do whatever he says. I'm very blessed that God saved me. I want to apologize for being scared. Thank you all for your time and effort. I know you all are very busy upholding justice. I respect you all very much. Law and justice is something I fight for as well. Isn't that what you sent to all those parties I listed before on February 9th, 2026?
Yes, but I also talked to Neil that day in jail.
Your Honor, I have no further questions.
I do have a follow-up question, ma'am. What are you right-handed or left-handed?
Right.
Okay. Can you demonstrate to me how you put this mark on your face? And so you took the muzzle of the gun and you
Went like this.
and rubbed it into your cheek?
Yes.
Okay. And where was the defendant when you did this?
Outside.
Okay. And then when he comes back, or did he come back inside after that?
Mhm.
Is that a yes?
Yes.
Okay. And then how did you go from this point where you're intentionally putting a gun mark on your face to you both going to Dicker and Dale?
Because I asked him, because the gun jammed when I did it, I didn't want to carry it. I was afraid it would go off, because once after I did it, I was like, I can't believe I would do this to myself. Like, I can't believe I would take myself for my son like this.
Okay, so what you're saying is that you put that to your face, you were intending to kill yourself?
Yes, because then I would have to testify against Reveal. I only had 2 weeks left to testify against him. Now it's postponed again. It's been postponed for a whole entire year. I just didn't want to save them. Those guys kept calling and calling, and they keep calling.
Yeah.
And they told me if I testify against Rome, they're going to kill everyone. Like, what am I supposed to do?
No questions, Your Honor.
No follow-up, Your Honor.
You may be excused, ma'am.
Thank you.
My name is Hayden Haver.
Where are you currently employed?
I'm employed with the Lansing Police Department.
And what is your role there?
My role is a law enforcement officer.
Were you working that capacity on December 20th, 2025?
I was.
On that day, did you end up going out to the Dicker and Deal pawn shop in Lansing?
Yes.
Did you end up making contact with Brandy Crawford?
Yes.
Did you end up recovering a gun?
Yes.
Is that the gun that you retrieved?
Yes.
Was there anything notable about this firearm when you examined it?
The gun was jammed when I took it into possession.
And the hammer there in four, is that cocked back there?
It is.
Is that the firing position for that revolver?
Yes.
And those bullets, were those in the gun?
Yes.
Thank you. Brittany Crawford told the officers, this man put a gun into my cheek and pulled the trigger, and it jammed. That made her go to Dicker and Deal to get a working gun. She took a photograph of the of the indent left in her cheek shortly after it happened when he had went outside. She was able to. And then once at Dicker and Deal, she had them call the police for her. I said this before. It is a miracle that she is still alive. She should have died when that man pulled the trigger. We're lucky that she didn't. But that is assault with intent to murder. He tried to kill her, and he just failed. Now, I could not possibly address bind over without addressing Ms. Crawford's testimony here today. We have two stories. We have the story that was told to the officers that day, supported by the physical evidence that they recovered. And then we have the statements here from Ms. Crawford, which varied, which frankly, the people do not believe, especially given that it kept changing. No, he didn't do what I did to kill myself, but then it was, no, I made this all up because my ex-husband is threatening me and making me do this. Those two things don't mesh. What is significantly more plausible is that this is a woman who's been abused by multiple men, including Mr. Johnson, who has assaulted her, choked her, threatened, who, as she told the officer that day, threatened to kill her if she went to the police. Who, when she had gone to the police in the past in Kalamazoo, he'd just get right out and then he would choke her even worse. And that the reason that she finally came forward was because, well, he said that he would kill me if I went to the police, but today he tried to kill me and I didn't go to the police. So at this point, I'm going to the police. And then we have the fact that he has been contacting her from jail, that he's been having other people contact her on his behalf. She did not want to talk about those contacts, which is why she kept saying, no, I didn't actually talk to him from the jail. Even when confronted with the written records showing that he had called her and talked to her for lengthy periods of time. The fact that that happened in between what we saw when she's talking with the officers at Dicker and Deal and today, she wants to say that didn't affect her testimony. That didn't affect her changing statements. The people do not believe that that is true. People believe that that absolutely affected her, that that is the reason why we're dealing with a recant, as we do in many domestic violence cases, because we have a man violating court orders to continue to exert his power and control over her that he had built up over years of a relationship before he got to this point. I would ask this court to not reward him for being such a successful abuser.
This case, this has got to be one of the most disturbing situations I've dealt with since my time on the bench. And the reason why is because we have one of two things happening here. Either way, it's a grave danger before us. Either the danger is that Mr. Johnson is extremely violent and volatile and attempted to kill Miss Crawford on or about December 12th. Or the danger is that Miss Crawford is extremely manipulative, conniving, and lying. And because of whatever's going on, not just in her psychosis, but whatever's going on between her and this supposed other person, I don't know if his name is Romeo or Romeo, that Mr. Johnson has now been accused of a crime that's punishable. He's facing up to life, I believe, and then has been sitting in the custody of the jail since December 21st. And if, in fact, Miss Crawford would be lying, she made this all up, and he's wrongfully sitting into the jail. Again, the court has to assess credibility, and I think it is undoubtedly, without question, that we have some credibility issues here in this court. Multiple times, even in other appearances, before we could even be officially on the record, has Ms. Crawford tried to blurt out something about a case in another county involving someone named Rome or Romeo or Ramil, who was the cause of whatever prompted her to say what she said that landed this defendant in court. Miss Crawford was counseled and advised multiple times that she should get an attorney because what she was doing would constitute perjury and is and should be charged and actionable under the law. She was counseled multiple times. It will also be stated on this record that she made the court aware on the previous record that she did not care, that she felt she still needed to say what she needed to say, although the court would not allow her to do that without advising her to try to get an attorney. She returned to the court, I believe it was January 9th, without an attorney. During that time frame, or in between that time frame, she had filed more things and had made multiple communications with the court demanding ADA accommodations and other requests. The court later received communication by way of Ms. Crawford that she was, I think she called the court and said that she was going to commit suicide, to which the court staff sent law enforcement to do a welfare check. My understanding is that she was taken to the hospital and hospitalized as a result. I have no reason but to find everything out of her mouth to lack credibility. I believe that she's lying, or that she lied to the police, I should say. on the date and time in question, and that's because it's corroborated by the communications they had on these phone calls. There wasn't communications about you need to remove this or you need to take care of this. Their communications was her repeatedly apologizing, saying the same thing she said now, which is, I did this because I thought it was going to be to protect you and it was only for a short time. And what I hear or see from the defendant is somebody who is crazy in love. And although someone would lie and put you at risk, put your life at risk, and lie and say you tried to kill him, he's like, I understand, and whatever, I'm just happy I heard from you, whatever the case may be. There's nothing there that shows me that Mr. Johnson was trying to intimidate her or to control the narrative, but that she was making it clear why she lied in the first place. And even her son appearing to, or whoever the third party was having the communication, appearing to support that this statement or these statements made to the police were lies. I watched the video that was played in People's Exhibit 9, and I can guarantee you it read to me nothing more than a performance. I believe that the witness is conniving. I believe she is a master manipulator. I believe that there was enough evidence there for the prosecution to pick that out and to know that this is not a case that should move forward. But maybe because of the way the scenario rolled out, where we have someone who's trying to perjure themselves, we have to go through these steps so that we can move forward. But I believe and I hope that the prosecution intends to charge her for perjury. We have a man that's been sitting in jail on a $400,000 cash surety bond since December 21st because someone lied. And they got before this court and lied again. And if the prosecution for the Ingham County does not issue charges against her, it's very telling. There was also evidence or enough evidence there based off her statements, the phone calls, and her attempt to recant that maybe the prosecution can have the investigators look into what she's saying as to why she lied. Maybe that could corroborate the fact that she's saying that I lied because this person has been threatening me. Did anybody even bother to look into that? Whether they did or not really doesn't matter. The case is dismissed for lack of probable cause.
Be clear, Your Honor, does that include him holding the...
Absolutely everything is dismissed for lack of probable cause.
Okay. PA 53 then would be time served?
Time served.